Hello everyone, we are back with the next part of installing the upgraded hard drive in my Acer Acros 486 Retro PC. So last time we installed the hard drive itself, and I noted that the hard drive is 540 megabytes, which is important because any hard drive larger than 528 megabytes is not supported by computers this old out of the box. So we're going to need a disk overlay utility in order for the computer to properly detect and use this 540 megabyte max store hard drive. And the seller of this computer, when I got it, included an example of such a software, which is this OnTrack Disk Manager 9.57. I just looked up and I believe you can get this off of Phil's Computer Lab's website, which is a great resource, as well as his YouTube channel if you're into retro computers. So we will put the disk in the drive and then we'll power the computer on. At least this hard drive spins up without any fuss, so that's a start. Can I skip the mem test? No. So we're gonna have to, I guess, sit and wait until it checks all 20 megabytes of RAM. Or so I thought everything was going to work properly. What is going on? Is it going to fail its power on self-test on me here? I could have swore that this computer worked fine. Let's see what's going on. F1 key. Fixed disk 0 error. That's just great. What's going on? This might be related to the size. Yeah, it might just be misdetecting it, or it could just be bad. Let's see, if I remember correctly, we are going to want to select something like this. Probably just the largest that you can find out of all the pre-selected types that we have here. And then we're going to want to load the disk overlay software from the floppy diskette. Let's see, I think the largest one we saw was like type 80 at 504 megabytes. Okay. So we'll do that. Yes, I do. Exit and reboot. Yeah, and then we're going to want to boot into the disk overlay software. Yep, we want to run Disk Manager. Okay, maybe there is something wrong with my computer here, or the way it's set up. I hope it's that and it's not something wrong with the motherboard itself. Alright, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to turn off the computer here and do some troubleshooting. Okay, I changed the cable and the problem's fixed now. It now boots. So I guess the cable was just bad. But now I have the issue of selecting a cable that allows me to not only connect the hard drive, but also connect the CD-ROM drive as well. So that might be interesting. Just for fun, I tried the old cable again, and it works just fine. So I also noticed that I felt a distinct click when I put it back in. So maybe I just didn't put it in all the way before. I don't know. But either way, it works now, and the next step is to try plugging the CD-ROM drive in and see if it still boots after that. I hate this monitor. It did this before too, and I literally unplugged the monitor cable and plugged it back in, and it worked fine. And you can hear the computer completing its power on self-test. So, and it's booting off of the thing, so it's working right now, but there's some failure in the monitor's logic that makes it display the previously displayed image of when it was last turned on. Like, see, I just power cycled the monitor and now it's loading the OnTrack disk manager. It's unfortunate that this monitor just has not worked very well for me. I don't know if you've had better experiences than I have with Dell monitors, but mine just has not been good, at least in this instance. But anyway, we're in OnTrack now, and I did check in FDisk before I turned the machine back off and set up the camera, turned it back on, that it is, the hard drive size is not being reported correctly, so we do need to do this. Okay, so this software, press enter to continue. I don't need to run diagnostics. I mean, I guess we can, but I'm just going to do the easy disk installation. Yes. Select the operating system you plan to install. DOS, Windows 3.1x. Existing partitions. All existing partitions on the disk will be lost. Yes, that is what I want to do. And it makes you do Alt-C, not even Control-C, Alt-C. So you really have to think before you do this, because it's kind of safeguarding against people who aren't paying attention, who just hit enter without reading. It's like, no, you actually have to read this in order to know what to do, and that's just for your own good. So we're going to do Alt-C since we do want to apply these conditions. Has a format capacity of 546 megabytes. There will be one partition of that size. Yes, let's do it. Partitions that have been created are now formatted. Each partition will be accessible as a logical drive letter after rebooting. Excellent. And we're probably going to need to get my DOS installation diskettes. If this drive is going to be set up with DOS and Windows 3.1, I would like OnTrack's enhanced 32-bit disk access driver to be installed. You must run Disk Manager again after the DOS and Windows 3.1 installations are complete. The enhanced 32-bit disk access driver can then be installed by selecting Upgrade Disk Manager from the Advanced Options menu. Okay, we will keep that in mind. Each time you boot from diskette or CD, you must follow the 3 steps below. If you do not follow this procedure, your operating system will be unable to access the hard drive correctly and OS installation will fail. Remove the diskette from drive A and CD-ROM if present. Boot the system from the hard drive and press spacebar or C as soon as the OnTrack banner appears. When prompted, insert the boot diskette in the drive A or CD and CD-ROM and press the spacebar. As an alternative, you can create an OnTrack boot diskette. That is an interesting idea. Let me, just in case, I can go ahead and create one since I have a random disk that I can use. Okay, so I just reread it, and it says each time you boot from diskette or CD. It does not say hard drive, so I think I'm just going to skip the OnTrack boot diskette creation process right now, but I think I can always, like, create one later if I so choose. Alright. Remove the diskette from drive A, and when ready, press Ctrl-Alt-Delete to exit. And now we should reboot and get our disk overlay utility loaded. And I will follow the instructions to press spacebar or C when prompted. Yep, I want to do that. To install an operating system via diskette, insert the first installation diskette in drive A now. Or we can install it via CD-ROM. Now I want to try... I'm just curious at this point. Can I boot off of a CD like this? Okay, that was a fun experiment, but let's just install DOS now. Alright, I'm probably gonna fast forward through most of this because if you're watching this video, you probably know how to install DOS. And the installation is pretty dry and simple anyway. And I guess just for fun, we can play roulette with the monitor auto adjust, and that's as good as we're gonna get. Okay. Enter to continue. Yes, that time is... Actually, no, the settings are not correct. It is not 3:20 in the morning. It is 2:20 in the morning. Yes, I am doing this at 2 o'clock in the morning. I started recording this video when it was 1:30, 1:45 on the day daylight savings time, and so I technically started at 1:45 daylight savings time, and then when we hit 2 a.m. daylight savings time, we turn the clocks back an hour to 1 a.m. standard time, and now it's 2:20 standard time. So I am playing with this 486 at 2:20 a.m. standard time. That is how dedicated I am to this hobby. Okay, but this is going to take a while to complete, so I'm going to fast forward through it. And now it wants disk 2. Now it's time for disk 3. Remove all disks from all floppy drives and then press enter. Okay, took the disks out, press enter to reboot. MS-DOS 6.22 is now installed on your computer. Press enter to restart your computer. And it's just going to load the OnTrack disk manager. That takes forever, so I'm probably going to... I think what I want to do for this video is just get Windows 3.11 installed next, since I would like to do that. And then we can get those drivers installed as well. And then next time we can look at other drivers, other software, and possibly some games as well. But for now, I would like to try FDisk 4 and see... Yep, it is 521 megabytes. Total disk space is 521. So at least it is being reported consistently, because before it said total disk space is 504 megabytes, which is technically the largest that this supports. So without any disk overlay software according to the BIOS. So the partition was 521 megabytes, but the BIOS can only see 504 megabytes, and that's what it reported to DOS, and that is as confusing as it sounds, and it causes issues. But now the disk size is being reported correctly, and we can move forward. So we'll just get out of FDisk, and we'll get my Windows 3.1 diskettes. Okay, I am back with my Windows 3.1 install disks. This is actually Windows for Workgroups 3.11, so I will just insert disk 1 in drive, switch to A, and let's do a directory listing because I don't remember how to start this. Usually, if you don't know and don't want to do this, is just setup. I also went ahead and connected the Ethernet card to my switch so we can try that out. Wait for this to load. The slowest part is going to be reading and copying stuff from the floppy drive, because that's just how computers are, and we'll do express setup. I don't really have a need to do anything more than that. And this is going to take a while as well, so I'll probably fast forward through it. And now it wants disk 2, so we'll go ahead and put that in. Okay, now I think we're going to go into the GUI. Yep. And oh my god, that is so out of focus. Alright, so we are going to... If you don't have the card handy, you can leave the product number blank. Well, that is certainly helpful. I wish Windows was that nice to you today about this stuff. Yep, we'll continue. And it's still going to be very slow copying all of the files, so I'll probably fast forward again. Disk 3. I seem to remember this taking a lot longer to go into the GUI than just disk 3 on the base Windows 3.1 diskette set, because I seem to remember, because Windows for Workgroups is 8 diskettes, at least a copy that I have, but Windows 3.1 without all the networking stuff is just 6, and I seem to remember it only going to the GUI in like disk 4 And we have more to install here, so who knows. Disk 4. I hope that was just a... Oh, okay, so it kind of didn't want to come out of the drive, but I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but the label kind of got caught on the drive when I tried to take it out. I was worried that the drive itself was suffering from physical damage, but it doesn't look like that's the case. Be prepared for quirky stuff like that to happen if you get an actual physical vintage computer like this one. Okay, now we need to put in disk 5. And that's 6 disks. So I guess that's the standard like Windows 3.1 stuff. I am not doing anything with printers. Computers are fun until you have to get printers working. So I want to keep this fun, so no printers, at least not yet. Setup will install Windows support for the following networks. Sure. Microsoft Windows Network. I don't know what that is, so I'll just click cancel. Work group. I'll call the computer Acros, I guess. Can I... I can only do work groups. I can't do domains. And it automatically identified my network card, so that is very handy. Plug and play ISA is pretty cool, isn't it? Or I have no idea if that's actually like a plug and play thing or if that's just a standard communication protocol of the ISA bus to be able to identify this stuff. I don't know. And it wants this gate. Okay, it looks like this is installing 3Com Etherlink 3 drivers right now, and this probably came on 1 or 2 diskettes, so if you had an updated driver because the one on these disks is missing something important, you could also use an updated set of driver disks from 3Com as well. And now we're getting all of our application shortcuts populated in Program Manager. Yep, that's what that is. Setup can now run a short tutorial on how to use Windows and the mouse. You will also be able to run a tutorial after Windows is set up. So I'm probably just going to skip the tutorial for right now, and then I can show it later if you guys would like me to. Just let me know down in the comments below. Remove any floppy disks from your drives, restart your computer so that all installed options can take effect, and after restarting, type win. Okay, so I'll just restart and then I'll probably install that disk overlay utility driver. Alright, looks like it started some network drivers. Now I'm going to put the OnTrack disk back in, and let's see if I can just run it from here. Because I would think that I could. I'm assuming it's this. Yep, alright, we're good. Press center, advanced options, advanced upgrade. Yeah, I think that's what it said. Upgraded dynamic drive overlay on all drives, update MBR, install the latest 32-bit disk access driver. Yes, I do. Maybe this is unnecessary. Okay. I don't know if that was even necessary since I didn't change the version, but we did it anyway. Alright, so we'll just skip diskette creation, Control Delete. Okay, so now that we're back in DOS, let's try running Windows for the first time. You can just type Win at the command prompt in order to do that. And it needs a password. I did not define a password, so yes I do. Okay, now it's gonna ask me to create one. This is probably important for network shared drives as well. I don't know if there's like, I don't know what people use to like centralize credentials for shared file access. Probably something within NetWare. But that's a bit beyond the scope of what I have the ability to test out right now. So we're in Windows, and we can see all of our network stuff, including mail, log on, log off. Okay, so I guess that's just logging me onto like shared drives. Also, this is very blurry. Let's see if I can make it focus better. I might need to also install the drivers. Oh no, that looks much better actually. Yeah, that looks better already. So yeah, I will install the drivers and everything, both in DOS and Windows, next time likely. If we have time, we can do some more, but for now, I'm going to end this part, so stay tuned next time for driver installs and possibly more applications.